Ah, trees, of course. They've become our mortal enemy lately, man. Hold on, he's still rolling. Still going. We're the only ones here, huh? Ah. This guy's got to be on something, dude. This is... This guy's acting like a meth addict. God, I wish I could hear what he was saying. Let's put this live on Facebook and put that music bed underneath, TOC. They were talking about coming in with spike strips. Why haven't they? And turn it back around from Tampa. All right. Copy that. Now, stumped again on trees. He's still moving. Okay, moving. Really moving. Here come the people with their selfie sticks or their cell phones. Everyone wants to get on TV. Beanbag. Did they beanbag him? They tried. Yeah. I think they got a shot off. Yeah, maybe. They were talking about spike strip. They were just crossing Wilbur right there. But I don't know why they abandoned that or what. Just looping around on Sherman Way. Oh, I certainly can. Hello. 4 minutes. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Okay, sure. I don't. Well, I don't. I don't mind queuing it if you want. Okay. We're back eastbound, right? Oh, Booth. Did you have video of him? They got a beanbag shot off. I don't know if you got that. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'll just mention it. I won't say we have video of it though. Well, a lot of people starting to come out on the street now. They must have changed scanner frequencies. I don't know. It's well, yeah. Go ahead, Mark. Copy all that. And a known gang member wanted for the attempted murder of a woman in Van Nuys yesterday. Marco Flores, armed and extremely dangerous. We are still in Reseda, getting ready to get into Van Nuys, though, eastbound on Sherman Way, eastbound away from Lindley. This is now Van Nuys. Wow, this could get really crazy, dude. Did you hear that? Armed and extremely dangerous. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, Marco Flores, and you're going to put his... Okay, copy that. Wow. Copy that. Wow. This guy's flying now. No, they're making. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yeah, going underneath the airport now. Paul, Pat, this is a really crazy, tense situation. You are looking right now at a suspect fleeing here. We have a lot of video to show you earlier, some very bizarre moments, but this has now turned into a high-speed pursuit for a known gang member. This is someone who is wanted, for, suspected of an attempted murder on a woman in Van Nuys yesterday. Known gang member, they're saying his name is Marco Flores. This is a late model Acura TL, I believe. Looks like he's going to get on the southbound 405 now. He was doing loops on Sherman Way earlier, and the video we're going to show you here was making some really bizarre motions to LAPD stopping, trying to talk to them. He was throwing stuff out the window. They tried to use less than lethal force on this guy earlier. I saw them get one beanbag shot off. That didn't work. He got back in the car. There were several times where he stopped and was looking like he was going to surrender. He opened the door, had put his hands up, and then he got back in the car and drove off. So really insane situation. Now we're southbound on the 405, getting out of Van Nuys. We'll be down to the 101 freeway here shortly. I'm hearing LAPD talking across all frequencies now, warning all of the different divisions about this suspect, this murder suspect, southbound on the 405, a known gang member. His name is Marco Flores. You know what, Pat, we just happened to be the first ones on this. We were actually on our way to another pursuit that was down in West LA. That ended almost as soon as we launched, and I just happened to hear some chatter with LAPD and a chopper overhead here in the Reseda area, just off of Reseda and Victory. That's where we picked it up, and when the video we were showing you earlier, when he was just kind of doing loops around Sherman Way, going back and forth very slowly, acting in a very, very bizarre manner, and now it has turned into a full-fledged high-speed pursuit southbound on the 405, very high speeds. He's come very close to hitting some other vehicles, like that person you saw right there. There was a really close call with a Toyota Prius earlier when we were eastbound on Sherman Way. So this one has really taken off. Now in the Sepulveda Pass, we'll be up at Mulholland Skirball Center shortly, and we'll see if CHP is going to assist LAPD in these efforts. Yeah, he was. He was probably going 90, maybe even 100 miles an hour there. This has kind of been his MO the whole time, though. He's been slowing down, like he's been shouting things at LAPD. I really wish I had a powerful microphone to know what this guy has been saying. He's done this at least a dozen times. Obviously, this is the first time he's slowed down on the freeway. Now coming to a complete stop on the uphill side of the Sepulveda Pass, and let's see what the next move is going to be here. Yeah, there was an LAPD ship overhead, and there were a lot of units in tow when this turned into a pursuit. So, I suspect that maybe they were, monitoring this guy. I believe that's the LA River there under the shot. So we're right near the 101-405 junction here. Actually, we're not quite into the Sepulveda Pass just yet, but yeah, now stopped on the freeway. The way that he's been acting, he's probably going to put it pedal to the metal again, but we'll see. Just very, very strange situation here. At a complete stop on the southbound 405. LAPD chopper overhead, that's the spotlight you see. No. Well, yeah, that's right, Paul and Pat. They are saying that they are considering him armed and extremely dangerous. He is a known gang member, again, with the wand, this is an attempted murder wand, so obviously they're going to take every precaution. You see tons of officers out there with their guns drawn, but he just kind of continues to do this taunting thing, sticking his hands out the window, saying God knows what to LAPD and leading them on a sometimes very slow, sometimes very fast pursuit. Well, we haven't seen him. Yeah, we haven't seen him waving any objects out the window other than when he was throwing a bunch of stuff. So he threw out a backpack. It looked like a pair of pants. He threw out some window shades from the car. Haven't seen him waving a weapon around at this point, but extremely erratic behavior. It's just been his hands. And like I said, there were more than a few times where he was motioning like he was going to surrender, sticking both hands out, even getting most of his body out of the door. And then as soon as LAPD began to close in, you see him there, guns drawn. This is just been how it's been going. Then he gets back in the car and takes off, and then it's just been this kind of stop and go thing now. Yeah, I'll have to zoom out to give you. I'm confident that CHP. Yeah, I'm confident. Well, we're facing southbound right now towards Sepulveda Pass, but I can guarantee you CHP is going to be running round-robin traffic breaks here to try to slow traffic down. Even by 405 standards, you know, late at night right now, traffic's going to be pretty light. So if anything, it might be backing up from about Burbank Boulevard. But I don't know. I don't know if this is going to turn off and turn into a standoff situation at a very busy freeway intersection or what. We're right by the 101 freeway right now, southbound here. Very right beam paralleling essentially the Sepulveda flood basin recreation area. I would hope that would be in their plans, Pat. Earlier, we had actually heard them call for a spike strip on Sherman Way. They were going to try to do that at Wilbur when he was eastbound. They had what looked to me like the perfect opportunity to do that when he was stopping, doing this, and then they didn't follow through with it. I didn't see any spike strip laid down. I didn't see any officer even attempt to lay anything down. So that was kind of puzzling to me. Again, maybe just with this being the suspect and being wanted for what they're saying he's wanted for, if they didn't want to get that close to him at the time. A bit perplexing, but here we go. Just still moving very, very slowly here, southbound on the 405 freeway, right up near the 101. I do not have that information yet, Paul. Yes, Pat, it is clear. I only see maybe a dozen or so vehicles going up the Sepulveda Pass right now. He's certainly driving as if it were 7 a.m. on the southbound 405. So very strange. Never seen anything like this. The constant stopping, motioning, trying to communicate something to officers, just incredibly erratic behavior. And who knows what he was throwing out the window earlier. Looks like he's might have the sunroof open now at this point. We were looking for other people inside, but didn't see anyone. Almost looks like he might be throwing gang signs or something. This is a known gang member, LAPD is indicating. I suspect that they are going to be behind right now, running, like I said, traffic breaks on the freeway to keep people away from this. but I have not heard them enter the fray as far as actually apprehending and subduing the suspect. Yeah, it looked like a jacket or something, maybe. Yeah, I could have sworn I saw a pair of pants fly out the window earlier, or a jacket or something, and that looked like possibly a shirt or a jacket as well. Just incredibly weird. And Paul, now that we've switched to the other side of the freeway here, I can zoom out a little more and kind of show you what's happening with the traffic, and hopefully I don't miss anything. But yeah, you can see it's very light right now. There's only about a dozen or so people affected right now, and the 101 freeway is completely unaffected. So we're in Sherman Oaks near the Sepulveda Boulevard, actually the Valley Vista off-ramp right now. Again, now with the door open now, he's been doing this a lot lately too. So, no, it looks like he may have just dropped something else. Yeah, and it looks like he may have possibly just thrown something else out the window. I saw something else there on the freeway, but this is what he's been doing pretty much the whole time. Yeah. And Pat, I did just hear LAPD. Yeah, sorry, Pat. I did just hear LAPD say that it was pants that were thrown out the window. No, I haven't heard anything about his communications other than just yelling whatever he's yelling outside the window. But again, I did want to mention too that one moment when he was stopped and was out of the car, they did try less than lethal means to subdue this guy. I saw LAPD get at least one beanbag shot off on this guy. Not sure if they missed, if he hit him and he just got back in, or what the deal is. Now he's pulling up. Well, no, I mean it's yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty confident I saw at least one round discharged, one beanbag fired. I couldn't tell if it hit the suspect or if it hit the car, or was completely off target or what. But immediately after that, he got back in the car and hightailed it, and the pursuit was still fairly mild mannered as far as speeds at that point. He was doing round robins on Sherman Way for about 10 or 15 minutes, really slow, and then once he turned back eastbound, that's when he really floored it and got to where we are now. You see that one unit on the upper right there, the unmarked police vehicle with its door open, just kind of coasting along with its door open, ready to jump out and draw guns again. But I don't know what to say about this one, guys. Paul and Pat, very bizarre, especially unique, even as far as chases go in Southern California. Oh, threw something else out. Like a bottle. Yeah, it did kind of look like that. I mean, he was pointing his finger at him, yelling at him like you said, kind of giving orders. But then other times he was putting both hands out the window, in other instances as if he was going to give up or he was. I also saw him pointing up a street when we were off Sherman Way. I don't know if he was motioning at a specific place or what, but incredibly erratic behavior. Don't know what else to say. When you guys were just talking right now, though, I did see him throw something else out the window. It looked like something glass, something shattered. Not sure if that was a beverage bottle or what, but I did see something get thrown out, shattered on the freeway. Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you too, guys. Now that we're perpendicular to the, whoa! That guy was just firing a weapon. I think he just threw it there on the freeway. He just shot his gun a couple of rounds on the. Well, no, I saw him. It looked like he fired at the ground, and I'm sure those shots came from LAPD. Fired into his back window. I was just about to comment how LAPD, or rather CHP, has the freeway shut down right now at the 101. But now things have really gotten tense, guys. You just saw a couple of shots being discharged from the weapon, so that answers your question, Pat. This guy was definitely armed, although he did just throw the gun onto the freeway immediately after that, and saw a couple more shots. That had to have come from LAPD based on the trajectory, but who knows if this guy has another weapon, if he has another gun, if he has a knife, who knows what, but that was crazy. Oh, wait, yeah, that's what it looked like. We're trying to see if the LAPD ship overhead will give my pilot Marcos any more information, but they were just indicating that he was the one who fired, and that he was the one who fired first. Yeah, yeah. It is. It is. I thought maybe they hit his trunk. I thought it looked like they hit his window, and maybe they did, but kind of hard to tell. It does look like it's intact at this point. It almost looks like the window may be shattered. I can try to double in here. It's going to get really dark, though. Yeah, can't quite tell. No, absolutely. That really changes the whole equation. Yeah. No, it's earlier, Paul. It almost looks like he's flashing gang signs or something, or perhaps a single finger motion that is not very FCC friendly. Those are my two guesses right now. It looked like for a moment like he was motioning something at Sky 2, like he was pointing at us. Yeah. It does kind of look like that rear window, maybe shattered, maybe getting ready to blow out. Yeah, I mean, I recall another chase, Paul and Pat, where we saw that the Stu Mundell was covering, where a suspect would, got out of his car and carjacked somebody else with a weapon. So I'm sure that is on LAPD's minds as well. If this guy were to get out and take off and try to get, on the other side of the freeway, they would probably have to bring him down. Yeah, they would probably have to bring him down. Yeah, I'm looking at it looks like CHP has helped with LAPD to shut down the 405 at the 101. So now traffic coming away from Van Nuys is being diverted onto the north and south 101 freeway right now. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be stationed at the top of the Sepulveda on-ramp as well, not letting anyone get involved with this, especially after what we just saw, one of the most tense chase moments I've ever seen. Yeah, I wanted to double in here to see. It's sometimes, yeah, kind of difficult to see sometimes when we double in the image like this with this extreme zoom. It can get really dark, but yeah, there you go. It looks like he might be smoking something. Yeah, he is. He is definitely smoking something there. Yeah, really, this guy is not in a good mental state, obviously. Did they? And Paul and Pat, I've been looking at traffic to see if they were going to shut down northbound lanes of the 405. I don't quite see that yet, actually. Oh yeah, back and forth. It's been kind of around the curb and smoking whatever he's smoking. Looks like he's drinking something as well. And earlier, like I said, I saw him throw a bottle that looked like it was something out the window that shattered. So I don't know if this. Sometimes we see these suspects thinking they can enjoy their last few moments of freedom before they get locked up for a while, and perhaps that is the case here again tonight in the Sepulveda Pass, pretty close to the top of the Sepulveda Pass now on the southbound side of the 405, which continues to be shut down at the 101, and I'm looking for a closure northbound as well. And you know what, guys? I think they have indeed shut down the northbound 405 as well, especially after they saw the guns discharged. I'm now looking south down towards Getty Center, not seeing any traffic getting through, and I'm seeing CHP blocking the Skirball on-ramp to the northbound 405 as well. So obviously they don't want any civilians to get involved with this guy. Yeah, it looks like he dropped back. He's kind of more towards the back of the LAPD pack. It's you got a couple of the SUVs up there right now, and then a couple of the marked cruisers. But yeah, we now have both sides of the 405 shut down at this point, and we are still on the uphill side before the Mulholland Skirball Center off ramp. So here we go. Every time all the officers get out of their car, he just takes back off again. Every time, as soon as they begin to draw their weapons. There goes more clothing out the window. I don't know if, yeah, this. you can never win. You can never win with the 405 freeway. I think he's still wearing a basketball jersey. I think when I had done the extreme zoom in there that I was seeing. Let me see if I can get back in again. You know, it actually looked light blue. It almost looked like a Duke jersey to me. It was kind of hard to tell. Pretty low lighting, but yeah, I think we've seen more than one. Yeah. Yeah, it was. We saw at least one pair of pants thrown out the window, as well as a sweater, and then the first thing he'd thrown out was a backpack, and there were sunshades that he threw out as well, and then, of course, the biggest thing was that gun he threw out after firing a couple shots into lanes of the southbound 405. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I think they've got it shut down back from at least Getty Center Drive, northbound Paul, and southbound at the 101. And there's just a little backup there southbound back from about Burbank Boulevard. At least there they can divert people through. I don't know if they're going to shut Sepulveda down as well. Not yet. Sepulveda's still open. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at people using that through the Sepulveda Pass. And that is open. But yeah, dropped something else on the freeway. Let's see if it's more clothing or what. Something white. It can't. It might have been whatever he was drinking. It might be. I know he had a cup in his hand earlier that he was sipping from. So maybe that's what he just threw out right there. Yeah, definitely. The only thing I could say is this constant stopping and going, as we know, is not good for gas mileage. And you know, maybe he'll run out of gas a little bit sooner. But you know, then if with the way this guy is acting, I could definitely foresee something like this turning into a serious and very long standoff situation. We've seen that happen plenty of times as well. So it's really hard to say what the resolution of this situation is going to be, especially after that unbridled act of aggression against LAPD, waving his gun, firing 2 shots out the window, and then throwing the gun out. And does he have another weapon in the car? Yeah, he's going, well, yeah, probably, 25, 30 miles an hour. And then, once we say that, he'll probably slow down again here. Yep, well, just almost on cue. Something else out the window. He's got something else, looks like. Looks like another, God, Gosh, I can't tell. It might be another gun, guys. He was just pointing up, and God, what is that? No, it's another bottle. Okay, no, it was another bottle. Yeah, that was another bottle. It looked like maybe a hard liquor bottle or something. Maybe vodka, tequila, or something. Negative. No, I don't. I see some on the, yeah, I see them on the Skirball overcrossing. There's 3 LAPD units on the Skirball overcrossing just up ahead, and then units on Skirball itself, making sure that no one's getting on the freeway. They've actually got flares set out there, and then, like I said, although we can't see it, there's definitely a closure on the northbound side, probably back at about Getty Center Drive, possibly at Sunset Boulevard. Copy. Yeah, we actually saw a lot of people earlier back in the Reseda area, even before we went to air with this, that had come out and were wanting to take pictures of this, probably for Twitter or what have you. And I'm seeing, I don't know if that's just a reflection from the spotlight. I don't think so. There's something, almost looks like it's flashing inside his car. I just threw yeah, that's very peculiar. It looks like he also just threw either a cigarette or a joint out the window as well. So, in addition to attempted murder, yeah, in addition to attempted murder, he's now got throwing a lit object out the window and littering backpacks and clothing, and who knows if this will turn into public nudity as well after seeing everything, all the clothing thrown out the window that we saw earlier. I got it open. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Yes, I do, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we're on the downhill side of the Sepulveda Pass now. We're past Mulholland Skirball Center, and really just taunting officers at this point. I got to say, since this person is a known gang member, you got to wonder if he's just doing this for the attention of his homies or whatever you want to call them, if they're watching at home and thinking what a thug this guy is, something like that. We've definitely seen chases take place before for no other reason than for attention or to try to look, uh, Oh yeah, yeah. There was a big to-do back when during Carmageddon. I remember with neighborhoods in Brentwood and Bel Air when the choppers were overhead and they were really irked about that and trying to talk to the FAA about some new regulations. I remember. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in were in one of arguably the nicest area of Los Angeles, just about overhead, right off of Bel Air Crest is one of the communities that's directly below us. So I'm sure they're not very happy right now. Yeah, this guy's definitely been multitasking. I mean, he's been reaching around, he's been throwing stuff out the window, he's been drinking, he's been smoking, he's been shooting a gun. So, really, kind of the whole litany of sin right there. This guy's been doing. Known gang member, wanted for attempted murder, southbound on the 405. Just making an absolute mockery here with the LAPD. I can tell you, not only is he really angering the people that live in this area, Bel Air Crest, but he's definitely angering a lot of people on the freeway. It looks like CHP has reopened lanes of the northbound 405 since he's now kind of driving down to where CHP had been running that traffic brake. But I'll show you right here as I zoom out. The northbound lanes there you see are pretty slow now back from, just about Getty Center Drive. It's like stop and go conditions. And so you're going to have a lot of people, gritting their teeth coming up thinking they're going to have a nice drive, and they go, oh, now what's going on with the 405, well, it's this guy. It's, well, that of course. Um, so, yeah, this is the reason for all the noise and all the traffic is this knucklehead right here. Whoa! Whoa! Was that a shot fired? I think there might have been a shot fired there, Pat. I don't know. I saw some stuff fly. No, I think I don't know if that was another beanbag or what, but I saw some. It looked like debris fly, like it might have been off of his mirror or something, and then he freaked out and got back in and took off. So I don't know. It looked to me like LAPD might have tried the beanbag again, or maybe that was a gun. They would certainly be justified at this point after what he was doing earlier, when he was waving and shooting a gun out the window. But you could tell that really roiled LAPD there. They got closer than they had been earlier when he was stopping and mocking them like that. And something was definitely discharged at that point. Again, not sure if it was a beanbag or if it was ammunition. That's right. Yeah, much earlier in the pursuit, when we were on Sherman Way in the Reseda area, there was definitely a beanbag round fired. But again, I wasn't clear if it actually hit the suspect or if it missed. Yeah, there's a reason why we don't see movie solutions, taking place to resolve chases. There's 1,000 different things that LAPD has to try to factor into their equations, and it's also dependent, depending on who the watch commander is, may take a more aggressive or a more passive stance to address any given situation. Every situation is completely different. So, but there you go. I mean, I'm really kind of nervous for the people just on the other side of the freeway here, northbound on the 405. They're all slowing down to take a look at this maniac, and not having any idea that this person was shooting a gun earlier on the 405, and again, a known gang member. Yeah, and a known gang member here. It would be very reasonable to think that this guy has another weapon on him. And you see, it looked like another round just got fired there, guys. I don't know if you could see that from that front unit. Again, I saw them point a weapon. I couldn't tell. It was hard to see if that was a pistol or a beam. It looked like that might have been a gun that they shot. And yeah, from LAPD, from one of the lead. Let's see. Again here, it was the one with car 847 there that I saw jump out, and I saw a weapon discharge, and then you saw him again kind of panic and take off right after that moment. Yeah, most likely there. You're definitely right, Pat. Just as far as all of these innocent bystanders now stuck in traffic that this guy has so eloquently created. Yeah, it looked like he had another cup out the window. So who knows what this guy's on? It certainly looked like two hard liquor bottles to me that were thrown out of the car earlier. This guy could be high out of his mind. He could certainly be drunk out of his mind. Certainly behaving like it. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hard to say if that was a cigarette or something, perhaps a little bit more potent that he threw out the window earlier. I do continue to see LAPD shutting down the on-ramps coming up ahead. But it looks like they're leaving. I'm still seeing a lot of cars trickle through northbound coming away. I can see as far south as the 10 freeway, and still seeing cars continuing to come through northbound. So, yeah. Yes, I see a unit holding at the Sunset on-ramp, not allowing anyone onto the freeway. Farther south of that, it doesn't look like there's stop traffic at Wilshire yet. I'm seeing a couple cars getting on the freeway there. But I was talking about northbound. I was saying coming away from the 10, that northbound still looks like it's open. They had shut it down earlier when he was going really slow up the Sepulveda Pass, and when we saw him fire that gun. And then as he came down here farther, it didn't really make any sense for them to continue to hold the freeway there, so they released traffic on the northbound side. But the southbound closure may still be back at the 101, because remember, guys, too, when he fired that weapon, they're going to want to get out there and obviously get that gun. They want to look at they want to look at the bullets. They're going to collect the casings. They have photographs they have to take. So we're on the other side of the Sepulveda Pass now. I can't tell, but it's entirely possible that southbound is still shut down at the 101 for a little investigation there earlier after weapons were discharged. Yeah, that's what I suspect as well, Paul. And it's really weird because he's turned around now, completely and still driving. So I don't know if he's just idling. Well, now and picking it up again. Of course, as soon as we say one thing, he does the opposite. But wow. Yeah, guys, I'm looking up ahead at the Sunset on-ramp just to see if there's any units right on the freeway that might potentially have a spike strip. I do not see that. Again, there was talk about disabling this car earlier with a spike strip, and they had the intersection that they wanted to do it at, and then it just didn't pan out for some reason, and that was before he started going really fast, back when he was just going really slow in circles doing racetracks around the Reseda area on Sherman Way between Reseda and Tampa. And it sure would have been nice if they could have ended it back there. It does indeed look like getting a little better look at that windshield, like that windshield is shattered. That was hit earlier by a bullet, I believe by LAPD after he fired at them on the freeway. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw at least a couple. They both looked like hard liquor bottles to me. Um, it really kind of looked like, especially the second time. I would be confident in saying that he was probably drinking from that. He had a cup. He had a cup on his lap. We saw that earlier, and then waving the bottle around out the window and then threw it out. And at least 2 bottles that got thrown out, along with tons of other stuff, including clothing and a backpack and. Who knows what LAPD may have found in that backpack that he threw out onto the freeway back on Sherman Way. We're still southbound on the 405, right between Getty Center Drive and Sunset. So, yeah, I think people that live in the San Fernando Valley and commute to West LA 5 days a week could sympathize with how slow this chase has been going. That's about as long as it takes most commuters every day. But yeah, pretty ironic, Yeah, exactly. By the way, if you see some jerking from the camera here, just sometimes this camera kind of gets a mind of its own, so I do apologize for that. Trying to keep the camera stable here. Well, that's not saying very much. I'm not drinking any tequila or anything like that up here, and I also have all my clothes on, rest assured. Yeah, it's really just been the same thing constantly. It looks like he's flipping people off at that point. At one point, it looked like he was motioning to us. I know. Yeah, we've heard a lot of talk about. I've heard of other municipalities that will get an airship overhead with someone certified to fire a sniper rifle, and they'll fire a shot through the engine block. Haven't ever heard of LAPD using that tactic, although I can guarantee you there are probably a lot of people in the LAPD that wish that they had that tactic in their arsenal right now. Yeah, that's a very good question. The only time that I've ever really seen the spike strips used were on surface streets, and they're usually only about 6 or 7 feet long. I'm sure that right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, again, known gang member wanted, extremely dangerous, wanted for murder, and we know for a fact that at least earlier he was armed. Have every reason to believe that he still is. So they're, whoever is the commander on this particular incident is not going to allow any of their officers to be put in harm's way like that. They're going to try to find another way to end this. But I have no idea what that will be. Yeah, or who knows? Maybe the guy gets out of the car and hops, like I said, hops over the K rail into northbound lanes and tries to carjack someone, or gets hit by a car, or there's just like I said, 1,000 different things that could happen. So it looks like LAPD's going to try to find another way to shut down this pursuit that's been going on for about more than an hour now. Mostly at this pace, this stop and go pace, just yelling God knows what at LAPD. I mean, oh, absolutely. I mean, we could probably just put 30 or 40 seconds of this on loop, and you wouldn't even know the difference just because of how this guy's been behaving. Like this has been every 20, 30 seconds. I would have to say that this is takes the title of most bizarre chase I have seen so far. I'm noticing a couple of the more kind of heavy duty vehicles coming in here. Yeah, a couple of, still have that one cruiser in the front, and I believe that was the car that may have fired a beanbag or something earlier. We saw that probably about 15 minutes ago when he was stopped doing this, and whoever was in the back of that car fired something, and then he freaked out and took back off again. You know, you just wish that that they had tasers that were 50 feet long or something like that at this point, or some kind of, you know, I don't know, some kind of sound mechanism. Yeah, and you know what? It looks like that's like an armored vehicle with a gun in the front and a shield. So that kind of looks like a heavy-duty SWAT vehicle, almost. You know. Yeah, that's certainly the vehicle it looks like. Uh-huh. Yeah, we are still southbound on the 405. We still haven't even made it to Sunset. Even by 405 standards, this drive is just absolutely creeping along. I'm looking to the south. It looks like they have shut down the Wilshire east and west on-ramps to the south 405. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no problem. I know we're all... Yeah. They still have the North 405 open, and I don't know what they're going to do about this. Kind of double back in again and see, but it's really just been the same thing constantly with this guy flashing gang signs. At least he hasn't thrown anything out the window recently or motioned with another gun. I'm sure that is at the top of LAPD's concern list right now is, you know, this guy having another gun. Yeah, the one there just to the right, it looks like one of those SUVs that almost has like a turret on top, you know, like a really high-powered rifle with a shield over the front, kind of, you know, something you would see in a Hollywood action movie or maybe even an Afghan. Well, it's not a Humvee, but you know, very, very heavily armored vehicle for sure. It's been stopped for quite some time now. Well, if all goes well and this does not end in the worst possible way, and they are able to apprehend this guy, I will be very curious to know, how much time he gets. Just, sometimes we hear about these suspects that lead, LAPD on these wild chases and affect traffic and shut down freeways and inconvenience all these people, and then, they're not in jail as long as you would suspect. Now, this guy is also wanted for attempted murder, so I would have to assume that this guy's going to be going away for a long time. And a known gang member. Yeah. Paul, you said that was that was like to terminate a pursuit you're talking about there? Yeah, that's I guess what I was talking about earlier. I really wish we had something like that. I am hearing some LAPD chatter, and they are talking about that is the SWAT team in those heavily armored vehicles here that have really taken the lead in this. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I would hope that, yeah, his door is open again. Um, let's see. I'm trying to listen in on LAPD here for 1 second here, guys. Okay. Yeah, yeah, Paul and Pat. I'm just trying to listen in here on what the police are saying, and it sounds like, yeah, they do. This is the SWAT team that they have in the front, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. They want to try to get ahead of this and address this. I think I heard them talk about tear gas, actually, if maybe there's a way that they could fire it from one of the bridges overhead, maybe onto the roof of this vehicle, or if they're, real sharpshooter, maybe through that sunroof, or something like that to try to bring this to a conclusion. They're talking about trying to get ahead of this. But it's a very tenuous situation. I'm kind of hearing a lot of back and forth about, how are we going to address this? Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to look south to see that, and it looks like they may be getting ready to initiate that right now. Sepulveda continues to be open, so if you happen to have this on at work wherever you're working and you're headed home to the valley, definitely want to be using Sepulveda Boulevard right now and stay off of the freeway, because yeah, that's certainly my hope. Let me try to listen in here again and see what LAPD is trying to say here. Just give me 1 minute. Thanks, guys. Standby booth. We have about a half hour left, booth. Yeah, Paul and Pat, I was just listening in, and I don't want to get too specific just in case this person is watching or listening to us. Yeah, but they are talking about bringing in some additional SWAT vehicles and the Bearcats, those huge, completely armored vehicles, and they do have a tactic that they want to use, but that's not going to happen if this guy continues to sit here. That's the best I can give you. So, and he's been stopped for a while now. This is definitely the longest he's been stopped. So, I don't know if he's not going to move any farther, then they're going to have to adjust their tactics once again. Yeah, since the moment we picked this up, he's been doing this, and you know, he hasn't stopped. It's motioning, and like I said, early on, you know, when he had his hands out the window, almost as if to say, like, you know, I'm going to give up, or something. Obviously, that's not the case right now. Yeah, I hope that Yeah, well, I really hope that LAPD can come in here with what they're planning, and within the next few minutes, more SUVs coming up from the rear. I don't know if this is part of that SWAT team. Yeah, I hear them talking now. They're kind of trying to adjust to him right now, to what he's doing, and I mean, it almost makes me wonder if this guy can hear what LAPD's tactics are right now. It's just very peculiar. Yeah, they've kind of backed off. I think they're really wanting the armored vehicles to come in. Yeah. This is that armored SUV. I may have even just heard something about a canine unit as well. I think I heard a dog barking there when LAPD was talking back and forth, so that would signal a canine. That unit in the back may be a canine unit behind that armored SWAT vehicle, but they're talking about bringing in the heavy duty, the real heavily armored vehicle here, the Bearcats. They're talking about bringing those here onto the freeway, and once they do that, then they can really try to bring this to an end. Oh yeah, absolutely. An inebriated gang member does not have a chance against a fresh and highly motivated canine unit. However, we're obviously the concern is that this guy has another gun in his waistband or something, and all he's going to need is 2 seconds to whip that out and kill the canine officer. So. I'm listening to we haven't seen anyone else in the car. Yeah, and when we had a better angle when we were doubled in, yeah, that seat looks empty, that passenger seat. And we had a better view of the back seat earlier when we were at a different angle with the sunroof open and didn't see anybody else. So pretty confident this is the only person in the vehicle. Now here comes, okay, this is kind of what they were talking about now. They're transferring some SWAT people from one vehicle to another. This is part of their plan, I think, and we'll see if they're going to try to move in or what they're going to do, or if they kind of try almost like a pincer maneuver here, if they're going to get him from both sides. Well, yeah, I'm not certain. Again, I don't want to say specifically about what I was hearing them say. I don't want to give away their tactics, but now here we go. Now here comes some more heavily armored vehicles, some more SWAT. Are these the Bearcats? Yes, I believe they are. Well, no, actually these look like other heavily armored excursions actually coming in. So I'm hoping we're going to see some of those. Go ahead, Paul. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stack up the line, so they can get the running back through. Yeah, football analogy. I like that. Yeah, I'm seeing back here. Yeah, some officers kind of going between vehicles. They're loading up these SWAT vehicles, and they're gonna get them into place. Yeah, actually, I know you were talking about them shut. Yeah, yeah. I know you were talking about them shutting it down back from the 10 freeway, and I did. It looked like I saw a traffic break for a little bit, but you're right. I am seeing traffic continue to kind of trickle through the area. So it's just kind of a wait and see here what SWAT is going to do with this situation. We saw the two cars in the rear, the two heavily armored SUVs, get loaded up there with officers. So I think there had only been two in each vehicle, and now there's at least four. Let me zoom in here and see if I can listen in and see what they're saying here. Just give me 1 minute, guys. Yes, I am, Paul. They're talking right now. They want to initiate something, but there was a concern that if they went at this moment with his door open, that that he would run and do what I said about jumping on the other side of the freeway. So they're waiting for a better moment now. Let's see now again with. I'm seeing almost no northbound traffic getting through right now, so I think they are going to be running a break here to try to allow them to conduct their operation. Let's see. I think. Here we go. They're going to do it right now, guys. They're going to do it right now. Here they go. And he took off. They were hoping to get in front of him and pin him in, and then come in and slam him from the back. Whoa, he lost control. Lost control. This is the chance. Oh, did he lose control, or is he trying to? Oh, come on, get in there, guys. Get him. There they go. Now they got him. Now, I couldn't tell if. Oh, wow. I couldn't tell if for a moment it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if they did enough damage to this vehicle to disable it. They were going to try to come in from the front and get right in front of him with that SUV. Yeah, and then, God, you saw that. You saw him spin around, and I wasn't sure if he did that on purpose, like he was going to come back and drive to charge the cops, but it looked like he did indeed lose control. And yeah, there you go. Good, perfect pit maneuver right there. Let's bring this to an end. Now, is this going to end peacefully or what? All right, his hands are up. And I think this madness is finally going to be over. I'm just gonna double out here just in case this does take a bad turn, but yeah, I see the canine right there. There he goes. They're gonna let him get him, and they got him. The canine unit taking him down. Well, this guy certainly brought it on himself. Perfect execution there. Yeah. Yeah, perfect execution there with the canine, and they got the dog back. And this guy is subdued, and this one is officially game over, guys. Yeah, that was a really wild one, Paul and Pat, and kind of perfect timing for us, too. Yeah, and kind of, frankly, perfect timing because we're getting pretty low on fuel. So really happy that, yeah, really happy. Yeah. Well, you're right. A less than perfect, less than ideal, but yeah, timing could have been a lot worse for us. I'll just put it that way. Ah, it was worth it for that ending. All right, let's go home. Hell yeah, man. Oh, that was the best one we've had, man. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. That